you. How are you?
Fine. We're just waiting for the rest of the speakers to come in and we start off, okay? Hi, Miss Ayla. Good evening.
Good evening. Hi, Datin
How-
Jalina.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hi, everyone.
So we are still waiting for the rest of the speakers to come in. Now it's already 5:15. I think we can start off in 2 or 3 minutes time. What say you, Stella?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think now it's 5:02.
5:02, yeah?
Yep. Another 1 minute, okay?
All right, okay.
Yep. So the first speaker will be Datuk David. He's already in the room.
Yep.
Actually, how to share Facebook? I'm learning right now. How to share on Facebook?
You got to go to your to the link, Facebook link, and then share on your page.
I tried.
I think the host has disabled sharing.
Is it? Am I alert the
Sharing. Oh.
No, Stella?
Yes.
Stella?
Yep.
You go to Facebook now on another tab. Ayla has already shared it is live now, and you can see Tatin's face is there. So it's already shared. You just go to the link and just share it from there. Then you can share.
Okay. I stop the video first, yeah? I go in.
No, you don't need to stop. You can go, you open another tab. Can you?
How to open another tab? Because you really don't know how to operate all this new thing. Wait. Wait.
But it's already live on Facebook.
Yep, okay, I know. I saw. I share now. Okay. Yeah, I see myself in the Facebook. Okay. Shall we start now?
All right, yeah, without further ado.
Okay, so I start first, right?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, hello, good afternoon, everyone, or good day, because we have 7 countries on the board now. So my name is Stella Lim. I'm from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I am the president of World Leading Change Malaysia, and I'm the founder of Kind Leading Change in World Leading Change, okay, which is WWLC. So thank you so much to Dr. Ayla, who brought me to this big family. And without further ado, also I could like to share with every one of you here the words, which is, with kind-hearted, you are not alone. So this quote is actually inspired by my late daddy. So this one is really, his quote is really changed me a lot. Okay, so also I could like to take this opportunity to thank you, my 2 lovely partner, which is Datin Jarina, Board of Trustee, Malaysia, WLC Malaysia, Ambassador of Kindness, Leading Change, Miss Anastasia Huang. So I think the mic is quite busy, right? Yeah. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, dear. Continue.
Yeah, okay. So I remember that, last year when we are in Bangalore, Dr. Ayla asked me a question. She asked me, Stella, do you think that kindness can measure? So I didn't give her answer at that particular moment. But today, Dr. Ayla, I could like to tell you, yes, kindness can be measured because of the measurement every one of us here today. And this is from we are 10 speakers from 7 countries by sharing their experience with the topic of the pandemic is not the crisis, but it is a healing process for humanity. So they are sharing their love. So I could like to using our ambassador quote also. She always taught us that the love is most powerful energy in the world. So she say, first we need to love ourselves. So the love journey is to giving our love to others. And finally, we will receive love from others. So do you think that this is a very good and very lovely quote? And also, I could like to take this opportunity to share the quote from Princess Diana. She said, carry at a random act of kindness with no expectation of rewards, safe in the knowledge that one day someone might do the same for you. You see, Dr. Ayla, I really understand now kindness can be measured. So I also like to thank you, my 2 lovely partners, to bring me to this big family as well. So now I could like to pass the time to our Board of Trustees and our moderator today, Tatin Jarina. Thank you.
Thank you, Stella. Greetings to all speakers. I am Datin Jalina. Will be with you throughout this talk comments. Okay, just a bit information about this talk. Actually, we have been hosting this for the past 14 weeks, and it is throughout the world, and it has been going on from Monday and Wednesday. And the aim is to create awareness, knowledge, and sharing information that enables everyone to benefit from this. Okay, so from this platform, positive message is to be passed to people to give courage to them to face the world at the most crucial and turbulent time. And we must be ahead of this crisis so that we are able to stand tall and get through this with braveness, fearless, and also with love from everyone. So the main objective of this, as what I said just now, so every week we have a different scenario, different career path, different experience, different exposure of everyone. We are sharing, and on top of that, so that we are able to lend our hand to others in time of this crucial period. Okay, so the talk is always about the topic of COVID-19 crisis and how it impacts on people's life, businesses that occurs, tourism, business, culture, food, beverage industries, hotels, restaurant, community, and etc. while encouraging the world. As Stella mentioned just now, our topic is about how can we look at this pandemic to see this is not as a crisis, but a healing process for humanity. So speakers, there are a few guidelines for you to abide. Okay, so One of it is that I will control the template, speakers and attendance, as well as giving conclusion to it. Speakers will speak 8 minutes and attendance 1 minute to introduce themselves. And I will give you a signal when your time's up. Okay, maybe a knock. Okay, so hopefully we'll share everything with everybody. So without further ado, I would like to call upon Datuk David to start off. So Datuk David, he is from Malaysia. Datuk David Gurupatan, he is a managing partner of David Gurupatan and Co., a law firm, partnering with World Press International and adapting the motto of evolving survive is time for change, make a choice, make a change, make a difference. Without further ado, take the floor, Datuk.
Hello, good evening. It's 5 p.m. in Malaysia at the moment. I hope you can hear me clearly. My name is David Gurupatam. I'm a lawyer of 30 over years experience. I do arbitrations around the world. I also am a principal of several tech companies in Malaysia. And I love the topic. I think it's great. I'm also a student of Eastern philosophy. And I think it's really apt at this point in time to quote one of my favorite philosophers, Sun Tzu, The Art of War. And it says, in chaos, there is opportunity. And I think if we look at it in that way, in all this chaos and all this pandemic, there's an opportunity for humanity. There's a big opportunity for humanity. And the question is really, are we going to grab this opportunity and what are we going to do with this opportunity? Now, I know I have 8 minutes, so I will try to be as short as I can. I think to put some context into this discussion, I think first we might want to consider what life used to be like before the pandemic. Now, since the 1980s, because of neoliberalistic capitalism, there has been unbridled greed that has been unleashed upon the planet. Knowingly or unknowingly, we become part of a rat race. We become like the little rat on that wheel. And we believe that to succeed, we have to consume, we have to work, we have to disconnect ourselves. The other thing about it's not just overconsumption and capitalism and being selfish. The globalized world also created different challenges where people soon stop communicating. Right. So, for example, and I'd like to share my own personal experience. Back when I was a kid, there was no cell phones. And you had to communicate. You played. If you were a kid, you played. You talked to each other. And if you were at home, you had meals. And during mealtime, you spoke to each other. But today the world has changed. Right. Social media has changed. Before you eat, the camera eats first. Right. People take a picture, post it on Instagram. So we've kind of lost our way a little bit in the world. We communicate more, but we're not communicating in the right way. People find it easier to have social interactions wirelessly as opposed to talking to someone. And because we're so busy in our world today, we stop talking to our children, we stop calling our parents, we stop doing all these things. And so one of the things I think in this whole world of technology pre-COVID-19, I think there was a lack of real communication. And I think today what you find is most of us have been through a lockdown of some sort around the world. And I, for one, I've also been in that scenario. And, being a lawyer and, living in this rat race, I've had a chance to really look at my life again, because I had 2 months and I had so much time with my family. We spent time talking. Of course, my parents and my mom is elderly. So suddenly, you're worried. You call her every day and say, hey, are you okay? My mom is happier, and suddenly post-COVID-19, life and importance that we place on things have changed. And this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to start looking at what's really important. And I think communicating is one thing. We have more time with our families, our loved ones, and I think it's an opportunity in the future for us to do things together. And the other thing is it's a question of lack of time. We always say we don't have enough time, or rather, I always say I don't have enough time. But suddenly the parks are closed. You can't travel. You can't go to the beach. And all of that seems like something we have taken for granted. And I think that if we stop and we think about all these things, and we start to appreciate what we have out there, the beaches, the parks, the birds, the sunsets, these are things that suddenly seem so priceless. You can't buy this anymore. If you're in lockdown, you can't go to the beach, and so I think it's time for humanity to start thinking about what's really important in our lives. What is the value of our lives? For someone like me personally, what I want to share is from a personal experience. I always said, hey, I'm this big lawyer, blah, 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 and I'm working for my family. All of this, oh, you know what? I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for your family, for my family. But from my own personal experience, I've realized that if I was really doing this for my family, I should be spending more time with my children. I should be spending more time with the people that I care about. Then I can honestly say, I'm really doing this for my family. So this is a chance to sit down and think, to make a change, to make a decision, so that we have this opportunity, and we shouldn't waste it. And so it's not just a lack of time, but look at the environment, right? I like to climb mountains. I scuba dive. I'm into a lot of extreme sports. If you're on my Instagram, you'll see my life. I race cars and things like that. But what I've noticed is, we're always talking about the environment. I mean, you look at what it used to be like. The seas are full of plastic. Plastic because of overconsumption. You can't see the skies. I mean, I'm seeing pictures of cities that I've never seen before in my life. They're looking so clear. The skies over certain cities are clear. And, every day we see reports of suddenly fish and birds coming back to nest in places where they haven't been for like tens of years, Like we saw dolphins in a very polluted part of the beach in Port Dickson in Malaysia. I mean, there were reports of it. And look, even rivers have suddenly become green. So even without doing anything, without actually trying to fix things, just by slowing down the pace of everything, life has found a way to multiply. Humanity and the planet has found its own way to come back, for rivers to turn green, for cities to be able to breathe again, So you realize all we need to do is just slow down. We don't need to do anything to fix anything. The world and the planet itself is naturally capable of doing that. And I think if we miss this opportunity, we may never get the same planet that we want to share with our children and our grandchildren. And so things like carbon emissions, acceleration of global warming and all of that, you suddenly realize, despite all that info that was out there, actually it's just a healing. We needed to take a break, and we need to consume less for the world to heal, for the planet to heal itself, right? Over and above that, if you look at the rat race and globalization, you find that what's happened is people stop going to the parks, people stop running, people were just driving around, playgrounds, and we used to, the world was such that playgrounds weren't important anymore. They would break it down and put another row of shops or another row of condominiums, because there was a great need for a migration of people that left their little hometowns, their little villages, and they came to the cities, and that caused an overpopulation in many cities. And so now, by actually looking back at how things are, people appreciate that, look, you don't need to rush to the city to have a better life. You're quite okay staying in your beautiful villages and all of these things. So playgrounds and all of this that we should look at all these things. Over and above that, I think what's really been amazing is our appreciation of people. I think pre-COVID-19, we were looking at the Warren Buffetts, we were looking at the Zuckerbergs, and we were looking at all these people that made a lot of money as idols, and appreciate all these people. But somehow or other, with the pandemic, people are appreciating frontliners. People are appreciating the guy that delivers your food. People are appreciating the nurses. People are appreciating the doctors. It's no longer people looking at Warren Buffett, and appreciating somebody like that. We're actually starting to appreciate the frontliners. For suddenly there seems to be a change in perspective, and that's good. These are all things that are good. Humanity needs to put a new perspective of what's important. Teachers are important. Schools are important. People are important. Delivery people are important. So that is a beautiful change for humanity. And I already see that. I see that on social media. I see how people are starting to appreciate that. So the change is already there. And, the thing is, right, with the lockdown, social media, right? And suddenly you find people that never knew how to cook. They were cooking, and they were playing the piano, and they were singing. And, they were doing so many things that it was because they had time that was kind of like forced onto them. And sorry, Datin, am I extended beyond my time, or am I okay?
You have another 1 minute.
All right. So, so I think, I have a lot to say about it, but I'm really excited because I think humanity has had a chance. The only thing that we need to do is really think about it. We really need to make a decision. We need to make a decision for change, because what I've seen that makes me hopeful. The one thing that I have seen in this pandemic that makes me hopeful that humanity will change is kindness. I've suddenly seen during this lockdown how people are becoming kind to each other. They are sharing with each other. They are calling people up. Hey, do you need food? Can I do something for you? Can I help you? That surprisingly, there's been an overwhelming amount of kindness out on social media. And I think that is a very good start. I think kindness to each other, love, as you said earlier, I think is something that we have seen during this lockdown. So I believe that if you think about everything that I've just said, we have an opportunity in all this chaos, in all this negativity, in all this sadness, in all this fear. We have an opportunity to change. We have an opportunity to be happy. We have an opportunity to be kind. We have an opportunity to connect with people. We have an opportunity to love. And on that note, thank you very much for listening to this old man. And I'm really happy that I got this chance. And I'm very grateful to all of you for giving me this chance to share my small little message. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Dato. It is a very heart-to-heart sharing, whereby grabs the opportunity to be close to one another, contact your loved ones, and know that it is such a very heartfelt message that you are delivering. Thank you so much, Dato.
Thank you.
Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Iko Wayne. Mr. Iko, are you around?
Hello. Yes. Hi. Hello, everybody. I'm Iko In. Nice to meet you guys here. I'm Iko In from In Publishers. So I'm the interior media. To me, despite the slowdown of business and finance, personally, this is a life-changing pandemic to every one of us, I believe. Economically, physically, and mentally. This pandemic offers an opportunity to get back to the basic with health and lifestyle. Being social distant and staying at home, we can now have chance to eat more home-cooked food, healthy diet, do some regular exercise daily, and getting sufficient sleep, which are proven cornerstone of healthy lifestyle. This is a pit stop to let many of us refocus on the healthy lifestyle without all other social distraction. we get to really spend sufficient time on our family bonding. Meanwhile, we will have introspection about loving our Mother Earth, how to preserve the balance of nature and having more sustainability developments. In order to have healthy communities, clean air, natural resources, and non-toxic, non-virus environments, we can build back better and recover from the current crisis stronger than ever. But to do means choosing policy and action that protect nature, so that nature can help us to protect us. From business point of view, as a media company, to be honest, we are doing what's more efficient than previous. Design editorial department work from home based on KPI. We still have clear direction and we still manage to get our job done efficiently. Sales department have learned how to MCO, means meet customer online. This can avoid route traffic and meeting even more client now online. It save up more time and cost for works and ideas. Last but not least, stay strong and stay positive. Thank you all.
That's a very short message from Mr. Iko. Let me brief a bit about Mr. Iko. Mr. Iko is a founder of Infabisher Syndrome Berhad, a creator, producer, entrepreneur, and he stands by his motto, design is your silent weapon of your branding. So glad to hear that your businesses are staying intact and going along well. Mr. Iko, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Okay. So our next speaker would be Ms. Kate Lim. Ms. Kate Lim is a psychologist and she is from Singapore. And she goes by the motto of trust yourself, then you'll know how to live. Take the floor, Ms. Kate.
Yeah, thank you, Datin Jalina. I'm actually from Malaysia. So I'm a psychologist from Natural Wellness. I'm really grateful that I'm able to be part of this. I find that what's happening now is everyone's routine has been disrupted. So I think it's beneficial because you can see that people are actually taking time to learn a lot of new things, like what Dr. David said, just some people are learning how to cook, how to sing, and maybe even learning new things from the internet. So I think this is beneficial because this allows people to kind of move away from their daily routine, their mundane routine, and allow them to learn something new, which benefit the brain, the mind. Because whenever we're doing something new, it helps the brain to actually grow. People need to know that our brain actually is constantly growing, no matter what your age, be it whether you're 80 or 90, you can always learn something new. That's called neuroplasticity. So what's happening now globally, I think everyone is learning a new way to adapt to this new life. So their brain is growing. And I find that this is also like a window of opportunity for people to grow and expand, because most of the time when we are so busy with work, so busy with our daily schedule, that we are always focusing our resources and our energy out there. It's always out there. It could be maybe just trying to fulfill somebody else's expectation, or maybe sometimes people are even waiting to be appreciated or seeking for validation. So a lot of time, people's energy are always out there. So I find this pandemic actually allow people to kind of slow down, take a step back and come back to yourself and seek what is actually tangible. So a lot of time people are waiting to feel happy, or maybe waiting for something external happen in order to create that inner peace. But what happened now is you can actually have that time and space to do that for yourself. So I think this pandemic, it's like a healing process, because it allows people to kind of see what is it in them that they can upgrade. So they are allowing themselves the opportunity to release the old and emerge as a new person. And in case you're wondering, like, it's how do I actually emerge as a new person after all this is over? Then you can actually start questioning yourself. Like, the one question that you can ask in order to kind of upgrade yourself is to ask yourself, like, what is the emotion that play the biggest part in your life? So maybe it could be anger or frustration or worry. So for example, if frustration play a big part in your life, then maybe you might want to, whenever frustration occur again, you might want to then trace like, okay, is there any thoughts that was making me feel this way? And how did this emotion or this thought actually make you behave? So when you're able to recognize what is going on within you, you are actually allowing yourself to have the power to self-regulate. And I think this is what we all need right now moving forward, because we don't really know what's going to happen in the future. We really have, it's not tangible. We can only imagine. Sometimes we might even imagine the worst. So what we can do right now during this pandemic, see it as an opportunity to go back into yourself and work on your inner self and inner strength, so that when you are able to have the power to self-regulate, when anything happens, you won't go into panic. You will actually have the poise and confidence to actually know, okay, how can I handle this situation? You will be able to allow yourself to have this new consciousness or this flow of intelligence or intuition to help you deal with any situation that arises. So I would really like to encourage people to take this opportunity, because you're not constantly chasing after schedule after schedule. So take this opportunity whenever you can, just a quiet moment, maybe just 5 minutes, and just come back to yourself and work on the inner self and see which are the emotion that I would like to work on. Maybe just pick one. Then you can slowly gain that self-regulation, gain that self-control in order to help you to be able to be future-proof in a way, because we don't know where is this pandemic leading us eventually. So at least you are equipped with the tools and the strength that you need within you. So I hope this short sharing actually helped you to actually maybe start to discover yourself in a different way, or maybe choose certain habits or new way of living in order to benefit yourself. And when you're able to live in a harmonious way within you, you're able to help inspire people as well. Yeah, and there goes my sharing. I hope everyone is able to learn something from this. Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Kate. You're from Malaysia. I'm sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah.
So a very intriguing question that should thought us inside ourselves, everybody, is what is the biggest emotions that face in your life? So in order to identify the emotions, you are able to have yourself power to self regulate. That is very powerful statement, Ms. Kate. And thank you so much for
Thank you for having me.
And we move to another speaker. He is from Singapore, I'm sure of it. Dr. K.H. Chia, a founder of Mind Discovery Program, Education and Counseling Prison. And his motto is wake up, call to the world of the healing process for humanity, save the earth, save the nation, and save ourselves. By all means, please, Dr. K.H. Chia, to the floor.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Jarina. And in fact, you are right. I'm from Singapore, but I'm also I'm an anak Malaysia. I'm now stationed in Genting Highland, Malaysia. And in fact, I should say that still holding my Malaysia IC tight lah. All right. Yeah, I think since somewhere 2000, I came back Malaysia because I love Malaysia very much. It's my hometown, my home country. And I conduct my discovery program since 2003. And also I managed to do the so-called prison counseling in Malaysia every month 6 times in and out. So far counsel more than about I think 7,800 prisoners, as well as those ex-convicts. so that I can contribute to the community. Hopefully the comrades, because of my tiny contributions, it will be able to drop. So anyway, thank you very much. And dear distinguished guests, thank you for having me here. On a World Leadership Conference, I will deliver my message slowly and clear. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to Ms. Stella Lim for inviting me to this conference and for granting me the honor to explore opportunity and share knowledge and experiences with expert and professional from different corners of the world. In this conjunction, I would like to share some of my thoughts. Hopefully I can share short and clear. What has COVID-19 pandemic revealed? World retribution and new order, discarding of old policy, business model, and outdated computation. The lockdown has provided us with clearer sky, cleaner river, fresher air, and rejuvenation of marine life. It's time for us to review, ponder, make changes to governing policy, business model, livelihood, and thought. The pandemic has forced total lockdown, thus causing financial distress and businesses to fall like a stack of cards. Many have lost their source of income, becoming jobless, directionless, and depressed. The one impacted the most are those at the bottom of the pyramids. During this trying time, a simple act of kindness and love will be an antidote to elevate a person's life and could even save family. What message has the pandemic brings? The importance of life. What is the essence of living? Isn't it to live a happy life with dignity and with purpose? Social distancing will be a norm and pull people apart temporarily. But the need for relationship among human beings will bring us close together again. I hope this pandemic serves as a reminder for mankind to remind them the importance of life, the earth, and nature, to respect and treasure them. Not forgetting to respect, treasure, and be kind to one another. This is the wake-up call to the world for the healing process of humanity. Save the earth, save the nation, and save ourselves. What the world needs next is the move towards more humanitarian, green development. Before I end, I would like to share with you all a story with you. There was a famous writer who lived with his wife in a beautiful house. His wife has recently passed away. She died due to cancer. The funeral was the only times the writer managed to see his children after they move out and lead their own life. As he sat in his old mahogany chair in the living room, he looked around to see how empty his house was, without his wife and children by his side. He started to sell his furniture in hope that he will feel better. However, the entire his heart became only one lonely evening. After he put the remote away, he sat in the darkness and thought to himself, what is the purpose of life? What am I missing? The four walls gave him no answer. He went to his bedroom to retrieve the sleeping pill from the drawer. As he sat in the living room one last time, he searched his mind but could not find an answer. He emptied the container of the sleeping pill in his hand. Suddenly, his cell phone rang. Hello, Papa. How are you? Haven't gone to bed yet? His younger daughter asked. She was the only one that often called home to ask about her parents. I'm fine. His voice trailed off. Going to bed soon. And you? He spoke as tears rolled down his eyes. I'm sorry. I haven't called in so long. The virus has made us all busy. I hope you are doing okay. I'm coming home when the lockdown is lifted. He did not hear what else she said as his heart was singing at this point. After the call, he dropped the pill back in a container and headed straight for bed. He slept, smiling, waiting for a day he can see his daughter again. I hope you all enjoyed the story as much as I did the first time hearing it. During this breakdown period, a simple act like a phone call to our next of kin, our relative, or our friends could save a life or even save a family life. It might just be a phone call to us, but it could bring life to another. Let's all take one small step towards kindness, towards humanity today. Thank you very much. So I pass the time back to Datin Jarina.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
The story makes my eye tears.
You make mine as well when I heard the first time I heard.
Yeah, it is actually back to basic love, family, yes, and take a step back and see what's important in our life. That is all what matters. Thank you so much, Dr. Keisha. And proud to be Malaysian, to know that Malaysian successfully in Singapore. Okay, so
thank
you, Dr. Keisha. So we move to our next speaker, Miss Siti Nurlaili. She is from Indonesia. Actually, Indonesia is a part of my journey, my life, because I'm half Indonesian and half Malaysian. So, Miss Siti Nurlaili, are you here?
Hi, everyone.
Yes, she is a senior sales manager of Sheraton Imperial Kuala Lumpur. She's married to Malaysian, a geologist, Malaysian, and she is just currently appointed as the senior sales manager at Sheraton Imperial Kuala Lumpur. And her motto for her day is that don't count the days, but make the days count. Take the floor, Laili.
Okay, thank you, Datin Jalina, and everyone. I do really appreciate to have this opportunity to meet all of you guys here from different countries, from seven countries. And for me, I'm talking here I'm here to join all of you to spread positivity through a hotelier perspective. And I hope this positive message can encourage people to live their life during this difficult time. This pandemic, I would say, has led to a global crisis. especially to hospitality industry, and potentially even heavier than 9/11, SARS, or financial crisis in 2008. Been working in hotel industry for 15 years. I would say this is one of the hardest hit that we ever experienced. In this, on the business level, the corporate business, the impact of the crisis has really devastated economies and left millions without a job. And as I mentioned earlier, airlines, travel, and tourism got really a big hit on this. So in this crucial time, let's put differences aside and fight the pandemic together. Due to restricted movements or maybe lockdown in most countries, people who run their business are facing income drops, or maybe big families in rural areas that depend on daily income life. They'll not be able to support the whole family long time. And also, I would say I feel sorry for students who are taking their big exams this year also be affected. Due to heavy impact of the pandemic, the humanity shall walk into a new era on overcoming the crisis, and therefore the players of the industry need to adapt the approach towards economic growth. In every situation, there are silver linings. We have to look something positive in each day, even if someday you have to look a little harder. While many of us are stressful to stay indoor for a long period of time, but I would say with a slower pace, there comes an opportunity for us to discover new things, new positive habits that we may have missed or never done before. For instance, I know some people download free apps and doing the daily home workouts or register online foreign language, or maybe indulging your passion in cooking, just like what I do at the moment. I'm trying. I'm not a good chef, but at least I'm trying. And then I also make use of my small balcony to become mini garden. Also, this is first time in my life. And also to have people like get together on video call together or celebrating online birthday together. It's also awesome to see everyone is having a laugh. So I would say to stay positive is very, very important on situation. And although the pandemic has impacted our life and economy, it has also shown us how connected we are to each other. Gratitude does the work here. Be thankful for everything and everyone that stepped out into our life. So last but not least, also thank for all the frontliners who risk their life and doing their best to help the situation and not having the advantage of working from home. They too are parents, brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters who want to protect their families as much as you do. So I'm strongly advised everyone to just follow instructions conducted by your government and do spread awareness. Just let's stop pointing fingers and play our part so that we can break the chain of infection, because we are all in this together. So by mutually being sensitive, respectful, and showing solidarity, we all should adopt the same message. Live for today and plan for tomorrow. Spread positivity, not negativity. Stay safe and be well. Thank you, Datin Jalina. So now the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Laili. Live for today and plan for tomorrow. That is one good advice for us. And of course, merging into this new era, maybe travel and tourism will adapt a new way and approach.
Yeah.
How hoteliers, hotels and tourism market would boost back their economic growth. So all the best out there, and stay safe. Yeah, and thank you so much here. And we move to Mr. Eddie Fong. Mr. Eddie Fong.
Hi.
Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let me introduce you, Mr. Eddie. So Mr. Eddie is from Singapore, I'm sure. Okay,
Yes.
and he is the COO of Wayland, which is a listed company in Nasdaq, and he is also a founder of a foundation. I think I will let Mr. Eddie talk a bit about his foundation, and he goes along by the motto of breakthrough solutions to prepare your legacy and find your life purpose. By all means, Mr. Eddie, your floor.
Allow me to share my screen. So I can't do screen sharing. Can I share my screen? Because I got some slides. Host disabled attendee screen. Can I share my screen? Dr. Jalina?
Okay, technical host, can you please share Mr. Eddie's screen? Hold on, Mr. Eddie.
Sure.
While I'm preparing it, Mr. Eddie can
I introduce myself. Yeah, I'll start introducing myself. My name is Eddie Fong. I'm the founder of Ayla Aljufrie, this program. I'm also a COO of this Wayland Tech Inc., which is not in Nasdaq, it's pending for Nasdaq, but we are on the way to Nasdaq, pending. We are still in the OTC market. And why I come up with this project is because my own near-death experience many years back, and also seeing a lot of friends and relatives, good friends, and they just pass away suddenly and without leaving a proper legacy, and without giving their family and loved ones a closure before they pass on. And my co-founder is actually Darren Tan. He's a man with very good heart. He's a Singapore top 40 lawyer, and also Singaporean of the Year, because he's done a lot of volunteer jobs and pro bono kind of cases to help people move on. So that's why this project is conceived. And I did this project, in fact, I started a thought a year plus back. And surprisingly, everything was complete, research and development was done, and I launched it on January this year. And everything seems to happen for a reason, because that's when the COVID started to spread to Asia, and now this project is like limboing. But I've really launched this project. It's moving, but it's slow. But we are getting a lot of traction, because I think the crisis is here, and this project was like born for a reason, like I mentioned. So actually, in fact, all my stuff are in the slide, because it's very hard to explain without the text in it. But anyway, I will still.
Already asked the host to disable the share screen, Mr. Eddie.
I still can't. It still says disabled. They don't allow me to. Unfortunately, don't allow me to share screen. Let me. You can't see, right? Can't see my screen, right?
No, I cannot see your screen, but I already requested to the host. I'm trying to get.
Yeah, it's not done yet.
Hold on. It seems that it's already able. You just click to the bottom.
Yeah, I click on the share screen, but it still says I can't. Host disabled attendee.
Is it?
Yeah.
Still unable. Hold on, Mr. Eddie.
No problem. So that's how this project was conceived probably a year plus back. So it's more like a topic that everybody shun, because it's about death, right? A lot of people when you talk to them about death, they'll say, hey, why you talk about such topic is a negative topic. But then again, they have to understand that in order to live to your fullest, to your full potential and a purpose, you need to understand what is death. You need to understand, hey, why is death there? And the cause of death is actually birth, right? Birth will cause death. You are born, then eventually everybody will die. So that's where I started this project, and I realized that in this industry, right, the deaf industry is a very huge industry. It's a billion, multi-billion, about $100 billion a year kind of industry, but the transparency is not there. Meaning, if someone dies suddenly, or they did not plan for their death, or did not do a pre-planning, and it will cost them a lot. Okay, and where does the cost go to? The cost will pass on to their family members, their relatives, and they will start to have dispute. Hey, why are we paying this amount of money and stuff like that? And if someone died, right, and without pre-planning, right, they are paying actually a lot more compared to someone that has pre-planned their death. Okay, so what we do here is we have a solution. That means we have built a application.
Danny,
Yes.
I think you can click to the green button now.
Oh yeah, it's done already. It's done already. Thank you very much, Dr. Jasmine. Okay, you guys can see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, great. Okay, so I was talking about over here. Okay, death is a huge industry, but then again, why is it so huge? Is because a lot of people are not planning for it, and in order to save costs, and there's a sort of like it's costly to die without planning. Okay, so we can see that these few months, right, the numbers are like going up like crazy, and that really saddened me. Like suddenly so many people like pass away, struggling, and what have they left behind, and how are their families feeling, and are they going to get closure, right? So we have a solution, right? Our solution is we have a platform, an app. In fact, it's a mobile application that I started building last year. And I want to disrupt the way people view death. That means they have to think of death, embrace it, be positive about it, but they have to understand it will come to us eventually, right? And this COVID, right, has, I think, waken up quite a lot of people, because since January, our launch, we have over 1,000, and by now we are reaching 5,000 downloads, and by end of this May, I think we're going to hit 10,000 downloads. So people are like waking up to this like vulnerability of our life. So what does this solution do, right? Last word, right? It gives complete closure. We want to give complete closure to people that are behind, that left behind, okay, family and loved one. We want to shorten the healing time, healing process. We want to reduce the cost of people dying suddenly, and we want them to leave a legacy and to live forever. Okay, but somehow we cannot take away the pain, because it's not nice when you realize somebody has passed away. You don't go to the person and say, "Are you okay?" They will never be okay. The pain will always be there. So it's very insensitive to ask such questions. Another function we have is a breakthrough function. What we want to do is still under development. It's called the artificial intelligence technology and big data analysis. Meaning after they use the system and they pass away, right? After they pass away, right, we actually can revive the person. Revive the person as in, like, say the granddaughter or the great-granddaughter, right? Say, how does my grandfather look like? How does he sound? So he can tap onto the app, and we can actually revive this person, and you can interact with this person with simple questions. Hi, grandfather, grandpa, what is your name? Grandpa, how did you pass away? Grandpa, you know, how old are you? So artificially, this person can reply back. So leaving a legacy with artificial intelligence, that is one of our so-called solution. We want to be like it's going to be huge, like the next Airbnb, but actually it's for the dead person, okay, to be there and be there forever, okay. So that's for online, but for the offline purpose, offline part of it, we want to build a afterlife academy where we want to educate. We want to educate people about, hey, leave a legacy. You need to find your life purpose. How have you been living? Are you lost? Have you found your purpose in life? So we have a system, a program to enable them to look really deep into themselves and understand, hey, I have a purpose. I have a purpose in life. I can leave my legacy. I know what I can do. And these are the topics that we're going to cover, you know, in all the sectors. Even green barrier, how to lower costs, how to save, you know, be green when during a funeral. Why do you have to spend so much, right? How to lower the cost, how to be green, how to go green. And this is our objective for the academy. So we want to so-called prepare a good death, right? So when I lie down and on my deathbed, I'll give a 2 thumbs up and say, okay, wow, this is my life. Okay, I've done it. I'm done. Okay, goodbye. You know, the kind of thing. Rather than struggling with death and living everything unpleasantly, right? We have IP. We are submitted for our IP rights. With iLast Word, with iJournal, which is also sits in iLast Word, and iRevive, which also sits in iLast Word. So probably a very quick movie, a short video clip that we have prepared to let you understand what is this solution.
Dad, why did you have to leave us so suddenly, without a word? Do you know how much I miss you?
Jane has left a message for both of you. I wanted to show you.
If you are reading this message, it means I cannot be by your side anymore. I just want you to know that no matter where I am now, I will always love you. Be strong. We will meet in a better place one day.
Do not leave your end-of-life issues to chance. Take ownership and stay prepared with iLast Word, a revolutionary mobile application that allows you the option of exercising your free will while you still can. Critical condition. Notify your contacts when you are in critical condition. SOS help. Notify your contacts when you are in trouble. Guardian. Appoint a trusted guardian of your affairs way ahead of time.
Upon reviewing all the evidence in this case, the court is satisfied that the intention to proceed is clearly born out of his instructions contained in the iLast Word mobile application, and the court therefore finds for the petitioner in this case.
Memorial function. Most importantly, say what you wish to say to your loved ones in advance.
To my beloved Abigail, I know I don't say this enough, but I have loved you even before you came to this world. I remember the first time you cried, you walked, and called me daddy. I remember your successes and your failures. I look forward to the day I give your hand to the man you love. I pray every single day to last till that day, if God is willing.
I love you so much, Daddy.
How I wish you were here, Daddy.
Abigail, I would be the proudest dad in the world to walk you down the aisle. You will always be loved.
Thank you, Daddy. I should have known that you were here always.
In a world of uncertainties, do not leave things to chance. Instead, leave a legacy. The option is yours. My last word. Death is not the end.
Okay, so thank you for your time and watching this little clip that prepared by myself and scripted by myself and my lawyer and my co-founder. So we spoke to funeral services, insurance agencies, and stuff like that. They're very keen to be part of this to disrupt the entire industry. To how are they going to make a change, right, compared to traditional way of handling this kind of solemn situation. So we are a startup, so we are still very new. We are still looking for partners, JVs, investor. How can we pass this message? Prepare yourself for a good death. Prepare yourself and leave a legacy forever. So if you are keen or you are interested in this, probably you can snap a photo, send me a WhatsApp text or email, then we can continue our conversation. And thank you, Dr. Jalina, for hosting this, and thank you, Angie Ng, for inviting me over for this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eddie. A very interesting program and approach. I know what is my last word would be to my husband if I were to be to record this. If I die, you get married, I'll be a ghost.
That's a good one. You can record that using the app.
Interesting program. I think this is the first that I've heard about this program. And of course, we look at death is something taboo and not to be speak and discuss about. But what your program is to highlight, to be positive about death and leaving a legacy before the time comes. It's something new, whereby I think to Asian and to it's very new approach actually, Mr. Eddie, and it is very interesting, and I'm sure there are out there who are really keen of doing this. Thank you so much, Mr. Eddie. And if anybody are interested from wherever you are, there are just now snapshots on the contacts and all that of Mr. Eddie. I think you can approach Mr. Eddie for further knowledge and also information about Ayla's words. Okay, Mr. Eddie, thank you so much. So I'm moving to Miss Sophie Miss. She is from Cambodia. Hi, Miss Sophie. She is the director and a co-founder of Shop Run Back, and she goes by the motto of I would like to be remembered as someone who was not afraid to do what she wanted to do, and as someone who took risks along the way in order to achieve her goal. Your floor, Miss Sophie.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sophie. I'm the co-founder and international director of Shop Run Back. Thank you so much for having me here today with you, and thank you, my friend Angie, for inviting me to the talk show today. So as you just mentioned, our French Cambodian company is specialized in cross-border e-commerce. We provide the software technology platform and a strong logistic network services to transform the online returns experience for consumers and for retailers. Our goal is to unlock the next era in e-commerce return by making it easy and convenient for end consumers and retailers. Just to give you an example, to date, we handle more than 1 million returns in more than 30 countries for our customer in returns management. So if I can share my point of view regarding the topic today, as the situation with the coronavirus, hit us by a surprise, and it stayed with us like for months now, and nobody predicted that it will kill so many people and force countries to lock down, shut school and public places, and put our life on hold. During this chaos, we realized the weight of humanity, the implications of action, and how we are all connected. All countries globally are working together today to face this pandemic. During time of crisis, we just realized that national boundaries are just artificial. We realize matter that today we are only one nationality, only one religion, gender, caste, or creed. It's very heartwarming to see how global leaders are, joining hands to face this dangerous virus today. For example, China sent its medical experts to Italy, to help them to combat this dangerous virus. Or India, they sent a team of doctors to Iran. It's very heartwarming to see the way countries are globally working, to face this pandemic. There's many lessons to me, of humanity to take on from there, like racism, health, love, how to embrace uncertainty and make something out of it. Everyone stay home, read books, exercise, cooking, and I'm for sure that everyone will get out of it with new choice, new dreams, new way of living. And if I turn this situation with the COVID-19 with my industry, retailers have been spent years creating omni-channel strategy to blend physical and online channels to engage consumer in the channel of their choosing. COVID-19's impact on customer behavior has changed the deck. In-person interactions has dramatically changed and been replaced by the digital engagement. And early indications suggest that much of shift may endure in the long term. E-commerce sales in apparel, department store, and beauty product have increased by nearly 10% point on average since the onset of the pandemic. In grocery, e-commerce penetration, which has already risen from before the crisis, continue to rise, even double during this pandemic time, and it's expected to rise even more until the end of this year. If I turn the situation in our business industry, we are thinking of COVID as another, Black Friday for returns. During the COVID time, there's also possibility for consumer having been forced to shop online for months will maintain their habits after the lockdown, resulting in a higher overall volume of sales and returns being online. A survey by the e-commerce payment recently showed that in last month, for example, 89% of the US shoppers were worried about shopping in physically stores. If we have to keep in mind the three main key impact on e-commerce business during the COVID times, it's shopping everywhere, of course, or
I come here 1 hour.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Sophie, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sophie.
Okay, so get back to the main three that the situation of the pandemic impact the e-commerce business during the COVID time. It's the classic shopping it's down, but the online shopping it's improving, even increasing almost 50 to 100% of the past. And the tech platform, for example, are angling to help retailer to adapt the consumer behavior, and our industry in returns can help the retailers or brands to face to the online centric consumer. So if I have to conclude the situation of the coronavirus pandemic, is definitely uniting us and making us better human being. Definitely the world will change and we healed. Pollutions today, as we can see, it's being cleared off, and the equality of it's being restored, and at the end the world will definitely be healed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Sophie. Yes, definitely the world will be healed in no time, and the black cloud will sail away soon. Yeah, inshallah. So
I want to precise, actually I'm in Paris, I'm not in Cambodia right now. I came early, yeah, I came early March for a meeting, and then blocked here since, yeah.
What a place to lock down, actually.
Yeah, still a little bit locked down, but now the country released people now from the lockdown. But of course, we will stay very, actually we don't know where to go because most of places are still closed, and yeah.
Yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, yeah,
Thank you.
And enjoy Paris.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Thank you so much, Miss Sophie. I would like to call upon our gentleman, Mr. Neil Kaiton. I'm sure I pronounced the name correctly. Mr. Neil, he's from the United States of America. He's the founder and CEO of NC Global Education, the IT admission counselor, author of 15 education-related publications, and his motto by excellence is the only measure by which one who cares should be judged. Mr. Neil, are you there? Mr. Neil?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Neil, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, and thank you.
Yours.
Well, I've been taking copious notes with all your wonderful speakers, and so I want to make sure I cover all my notes before I get into the issue of COVID-19. Great speakers today. You've all done a fantastic job, and it's easy to see why you are world leaders. Thank you to World Leading Change for inviting me. This is a fantastic opportunity for us to learn from each other. Thank you in particular to my friend Ernestina Wong. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. Before we talk about the opportunities that exist from COVID-19, we have to acknowledge the fact that every single person who's affected by COVID-19 is a tragedy. And for every person who dies from COVID-19, an entire family, if not an entire community, is affected. So although I agree with the premise of the meeting that there is unprecedented opportunity, there's also unprecedented suffering, and I think we all need to just acknowledge that for just a moment and understand that there are a lot of people in our world that are hurting right now. One more thing, just as a preliminary, and then I'll tell you who I am and then talk a little bit about COVID. I just want to start by getting a little bit political. You guys are reading a lot about the U.S. these days and about, you know, our policies and our status around the world. And I want to make sure you understand, because I think I'm the only person from the U.S. here, that the majority of Americans still really care about the world. We really care about you. We really care about people who need help. We care about the environment. And we think that the message is getting a little bit crazy out there about, you know, what you're seeing about the U.S. And we just want you to know that most of us in the U.S., most of us really care about the world. And I would include myself in that group. Okay, a little bit about myself. My name is Neil Chaitin. I'm the founder of NC Global Education. We are primarily tasked with getting high-achieving students into top colleges, Ivy League colleges, et cetera. And I've been doing this for about 36 years. It's my 5th company. I've written 15 books on test preparation and college counseling. We're located in Boston, Massachusetts, or just outside of Boston, Massachusetts, in Cambridge, which is the home of MIT and Harvard. I've had the pleasure of, in my long career, helping over 150 Harvard and MIT professors or their children to get into top colleges, and more than 1,000 students into Ivy League colleges. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the issue of COVID-19. And I equate COVID-19 to a meteor strike. You know, if you think about it, it's as if the world has been struck by a tiny little meteor, but it had the impact of a large meteor, and nothing in the world that we can remember as humans has had this effect. You know, 9/11 pales in comparison to this. Almost 1/3 people have died, and before this is over, it's going to be closer to 500,000 people, if not more. I mean, that's an incredible tragedy. And David, our first speaker today, really eloquently stated that from chaos rises opportunity. I represent the next generation of leaders who will someday take your roles as leaders of the world. I represent students who are about to enter college. There's no doubt that we're going to have at least a partial bounce back in the near future, but we will be inexorably changed. We will never be the same. And we are going to need to rebuild our world, both physically and mentally. The next 10 to 20 years are critically important for students who are about to enter college. There's a dramatic need for new thinking, and thus this will represent a new and unprecedented opportunity for talented individuals in many fields. So what I've done is I've compiled a list of the top 10 majors for students who are about to enter college. And I start with number 10. Number 10 is civil engineering. You know, every day we see how COVID-19 is changing the way that people interact with their physical environment. And the design of all civil systems implemented in the next decade will rewrite all the rules and must take into account the possibility of future pandemics. Access to life-saving equipment, travel across town, across the country, and across the world. We've seen civil engineering innovation on individual scales as people struggle to save their businesses with self-manufactured answers to problems that they had never foreseen. And in the next decade, it'll be necessary to rethink virtually all civil projects to include safeguards and contingencies for a variety of unseen circumstances. So civil engineering is number 10. Number 9 is finance. As a couple of our speakers have talked about today, the future of finance is up in the air. Finance is the study of money, money management, investing, borrowing, lending, saving, budgeting, and forecasting. COVID-19 has shaken our sense of financial security so deeply that those well-versed in the subtleties and intricacies of finance will be highly sought in the decade ahead. As we head into a likely worldwide depression, activities aimed at spearheading a speedy recovery will be a major focus for individuals, businesses, and governments. And therefore, a certificate in finance from a world-class institution will quite literally be worth many times its weight in gold. So number 9 is finance. Number 8 is interesting. It's sociology, and you wouldn't think of sociology as a major. Sociology is the study of humanity, including human thinking and behavior and group and crowd mentality and interactions, societies, and cultures. It can relate to relationships between two people or two countries or many countries. Understanding human behavior provides a solid basis for consulting, retail, marketing, medicine, public health. There's little doubt that much time, effort, and money will be spent analyzing humanity's reaction to COVID-19, both during and after. Sociology will provide a basis for understanding our behaviors and reactions and predicting them in the future. Therefore, sociology majors will be highly sought by a wide variety of businesses and agencies. Number 7 is psychology. We had a nice presentation today. The field of psychology encompasses the study of human thought, personality, behavior, motivation, emotion, response to stimuli, etc. The goals of psychology are to understand, describe, predict, and possibly change behaviors. Our reaction to COVID-19 is a psychological study on a massive scale that will be micro and macro analyzed for decades to come. The results of the study may alter future behaviors in a vast array of businesses and medical applications. Therefore, psychology majors will be heavily relied upon. 6 is economics, which is the study of manufacturing, distribution, and purchasing of goods and services. Not only has COVID-19 changed world economics in an unprecedented manner, it has made us look further into the future in order to protect ourselves and prepare ourselves for a less predictable future. We've seen the impact in grocery stores and department stores, and as our last speaker was saying, retail sales are down, internet sales are up. Literally millions of businesses across the world are affected. Some will never come back, some will get stronger. The study of economics is therefore hugely important for the future. Number 5 is medicine, and the reason I have it as number 5 as opposed to number 1 is because what we're finding now is that medicine is dangerous. Doctors, nurses, hospital workers are literally risking their lives every day. They are the true heroes. Medicine is super important, but I think we've all been awakened to the fact that it's also, it has its risks. And that's why it only makes it up to number 5 and not to number 1. It's probably the number 1 most needed, but still it makes number 5 on my list of top 10 majors for the future of college. Number 4 is business. In the next decade, an unprecedented number of businesses will rise and fall. Over the next 10 years, the landscape of business will change dramatically. This is a remarkable statement given the paradigm shift that we have seen during this period that we've just encountered. There's no doubt that bulletproofing businesses from an unpredictable future will become a major focus in the decade ahead. Emergent markets, products will follow entirely new models and paradigms. The after-death product we saw today was a fascinating example of that. Who would have thought of that years ago? But now we've taken our own deaths to the internet. That's brilliant. So the study of business is hugely important. It's number 4 on my list. Number 3 is systems biology. So this is a relatively new field. For years, we were reductionists. We broke biology into its smallest parts, its smallest components. It was either cell biology or plant biology, but now we study systems. So the approach of systems biology is to understand things as they exist together with other parts. They could include tissue biology, microbiology, cell biology, and you put all those things together and how do they interact? There's little doubt that students who have an interest in biology will find a passionate career pathway to follow. Understanding how biological systems work has never been more important and can provide students with an almost endless number of exciting career pathways. As a result, this is likely to be an incredibly popular major in the decade ahead. That was number 3. Number 2, I know you're all wondering, number 1.
You have another 2.
Number 2 is computer engineering. It's hard to imagine how desperate we would all feel now as we self-quarantine in order to avoid exposure to COVID-19 if we didn't have computers and smartphones. There's literally no aspect of our lives that these devices do not touch, and this extreme level of dependence will grow much deeper in the next decade. With computer technology advancing at an exponential rate, computer engineering will be increasingly essential. It is number 2 on my list of top 10 majors. Number 1, drum roll please, is biomedical, biomechanical engineering. It's the number 1 career for the next 10 years. Perhaps nothing is more important for the future well-being or even survival of mankind than discovering new ways to use technology to solve biological problems. During the COVID-19 crisis, we've seen new emphasis on machines, including respirators, analyzers, and monitors. In the next decade, we'll see an entirely new generation of biological machines that support the human body in ways that we cannot even predict. Mechanical lungs, for example, may replace human lungs in patients who can no longer adequately process the oxygen level needed for their organs to function. A degree in biomedical or biomechanical engineering will put students in what is perhaps the most exciting field in the history of mankind. And while we don't like to think in these terms, opportunity does spring from tragedy. For students who are close to deciding where to attend college and which majors to pursue, understanding the implications of COVID-19 could not be more essential. We're at the precipice of some of the most important changes our society has ever seen. And for those who are well positioned to take leadership roles in the next decade, the future could not be any brighter. COVID-19 it's taken away a degree of our innocence. It's left us feeling vulnerable and exposed. It has removed our outer shell and exposed our soft underbelly. As we struggle to recover physically and emotionally, we will be seeking guidance from college students of today who will become you, the world leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Neil, for very lengthy information towards our future generation. And I agree with you, opportunity rises from prejudice, whereby we need to evolve from prejudice and surface as one solutions in order to overcome the misery, in order to adapt the economic growth and life quality of life, etc. So I think this is a big question to everybody on how we want to move ahead after this. How we would have the forward plan to generate economics, to generate health systems and all that. Thank you so much, Mr. Neil, for the complete, profound sharing. We'll meet again and we'll have more discussion about this. Thank you again. And with that, I would call and would like to invite Ms. Martina Fajarudin from Czech Republic. She is an artist, an art director, photographer, founder of Jungle Kid Organization.
Yes,
Ms.
that's right.
Hello,
hi.
Hi, how are you? And her motto is, "What would life be if we had no courage to attempt anything?" Take the floor, dear.
Okay, hello, hi. Hello to everyone. Do you listen me well? Really? Okay, that's great. That's great. I wanna thank you to be member of this amazing group, and I wanna say thank you to Miss Ayla, when actually we met last year in Bali, and it was such a something happened. I think it's okay. It's okay. And I met Ayla last year, and it was kind of miracle for me. So I really wanna say thank you one more time. So let me introduce myself a little bit more. I am the art director, artist, and photographer as well. And I live in this beautiful country in Czech Republic right now, where I actually born. And I came here back to Czech Republic after living in Indonesia. So my talk is a little more private than probably others, but I really hope it's fine. And my topic is to step outside of your comfort zone since the beginning, right? And this is really a crucial time for anyone, for everyone except me. And we all breaking through our boundaries in this situation. And but also I feel like very empowered by the presence right now, and we can emerge stronger from the crisis, right? So let me tell you a little bit more about my journey during the crisis. And I decided to spend some time to my family, to the countryside in Czech Republic. It's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful place, full of the nature, and you are surrounded by the animals and horses and everything. You can get the inspiration and then the energy from them as well. And I spent a few weeks with my parents' house, at my parents' house, together at one place, and I was very happy to be with them. And I have a schedule every day. I do jogging every morning, and because we all are locked down, I felt a little bit depressed. And one day I told my father, like, "Hey, Father, I'm really sad because I can't go outside and I can't do my running during the morning, and I don't know what to do." And he told me, like, he's also works from home, so we were all the time together. And he said, "Okay, it's probably time to buy a running machine, and we can do something together from outside, from the home, right?" So I was really happy because it's not about the running machine. It's about more how he wants to give me some hope, and help me from the situation. Because for me, it's very, very depressed to don't do that activities what I do every day. And then I left for the city for a couple of weeks to work. I came back after a few weeks, and my father wasn't very sure about the running machine, and he was watching at me and thinking, okay, I don't know if I wanted to do it as well. And I told him, just take your time, if you like it or not, just it's on you. And after a couple of days, I saw him every morning. He was running. And he told me, like, wow, I feel full of energy. I want to create something new. I'm full of everything. So let's do something together, right? And that was the moment when I was started thinking what I can do more during this time, actually. And during the crisis, I help and support children here in Czech Republic as an online platform, and I do lessons with them and study English, study art, and my most motivation is to give mothers and fathers a kind of relief and take some time with their children and cooperate and speak and talk about whatever, about the actual situation, about everything they can help them with their daily routine, because this situation here in Czech Republic is very, very unconventional for them. No one is okay to be together with a family all days, especially for the children, like 20 years old girls who are all days with their friends at school, and they're bored, and and parents are also a little depressed. So I came with this platform to little help and take some time with the children and try to teach them and make some fun with them as well. So, but I was still thinking, it's not enough. What I can do else? How can I improve this platform more? Because it's about how to step outside of the comfort zone, how to create your own values, to really recognize what is the real value is. It was also very difficult for me as well to find the real values. It was just a few years. I used to work at the biggest financial corporation. Actually, I studied business law and graduated here at the university in Prague and London as well. So I was surrounded by the luxury life and full of powerful people who influenced me and gave me the path. And I wasn't very sure if this path is right. Who knows, right? I was 22 years old girl, and I was so excited to be part of this group. And I was very proud about myself as well, because, you are a lawyer, right? And how you can know this is right or not. And just one day I was thinking, okay, it's probably not okay to every single weekend thinking about how can I spend my money I earn. And I felt somewhere inside me, it's gonna be some intuitive voice. He told me, like, it's not enough, this is really not good value for you in your life. So then I left everything I based on, left every single standard I used to know and used to have, and I went directly to the jungle in Indonesia to teach local children as a volunteer. And that was the moment for me where I actually understand what is the real value is and what is it about, how to live with the community, what I can teach from them and what they can teach from me as well. And that was the moment what I wanted to give also here, to check children who sitting in their rooms bored as hell, and thinking what they can do. And then I created this, I call the miracle platform, because these Czech children can teach from this donation, for example, children. Because
you
the children...
You have another 2 minutes. Yeah?
Okay, I'm gonna finish. Oh, thank you. And the main point is, I did this corporation together and combined this world of children with the other one, and they can teach and we can collaborate together and practice our values and also culture habits and everything. And for the next time, if something like this happened, I really hope not, but I very hope just children from here who don't know what does it mean to stepping outside of the comfort zone can finally understand and fight with this much better and easily, because this is the point, and I want to give them hope. They can be much more stronger than they are actually. So this is my message, and then how I create Jungle Kid Foundation. So thank you very much for your attention. And
Martina, for sharing. It is indeed a very intriguing question. How can I help? How can we lend our expertise and all that? And it is so much things to do out there, actually. It is
yeah,
great.
of course. Till
we meet again, there are much more things to discuss. And thank you for sharing, Miss Martina. Hope you have a very pleasant say in Czech. I know Czech is very beautiful and
It's
very
amazing
green.
country.
Yes, I know that. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Miss Martina.
Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you for attention. Bye.
Okay, last but not least, we have Miss Nisha Patak. She's from Nepal. She is Miss Grand Nepal 2019. Are you here, Miss Nisha? Miss Nisha, are you here? Hi, Miss Nisha. I'm not sure where she is. Miss Nisha, are you around? I don't think she's here. Miss
Actually,
Nisha?
I saw Tatin, I saw her, you know.
Is it? Miss
Yeah, she
Nisha?
just mute her video. Wait, yeah.
I saw her on this one, yeah, on the screen. Miss Nisha, I'm waiting for you. Or maybe she left the room.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Nisha. I think you can unmute yourself and also your video. Hi, Miss Nisha.
Hello.
Hi, dear. Can you on your video, dear?
Yeah, just give me a minute. I'm having a network problem. Just give me a few.
All right.
Okay.
So,
hi. Can you see me?
Yes, Miss Nisha, I can see you. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Hello, everybody. Namaste from Nepal. I hope everybody is staying safe. It was really nice session hearing from everybody and getting to learn a bit. I won't be preparing and taking much of your time. The pandemic that we are having right now is definitely a very disastrous. Before this, I would like to describe a little bit about myself. I am Nisha Patak and I am a pageant title holder. I am Miss Grand Nepal 2019 and I would heartily like to thank Dr. Ayla for giving this platform to get connected with everybody. So as we all know that crisis can be uniquely opportunity if we are able to change our path and explore the new opportunity and become the person that we are meant to be. Comparing life before Corona was definitely a hectic one, full of life, full of work. There were a lot of stress and no time for anything. But definitely the fear of Corona has finally made everyone us to realize that the most matters is the time we spend with our families and loved ones, using less social media, and of course, I think this is the time that we need to appreciate from bottom of my heart. Talking about the global context, we all see that Mother Nature, our Mother Earth, is especially healing. And to be really precise and honest, whenever I used to go up in the terrace of my home, I used to see nothing. But right now, when we are in evening time, when everybody of us, we go up in the terrace, we see beautiful mountains and Himalayas. And I think that is the beauty of the negative, but as well as the positive side of this pandemic disease. Also, we are being able to communicate with the people across the world like we are doing right now. We are being able to utilize our time, give something and take something back in return from everybody sitting in our home, and that's the beauty of having a proper communication. Every crisis brings opportunities along with this. We can see everywhere that people are learning to cook, people are learning to dance and have some time for themselves. But last but not the least, all I want to say is that you only live once and we need to make most out of it. Once the time is gone, it's never going to return back again. We all need to remember that we spend a lot of money just for vacation to spend time with our families, but right now we actually are getting a lot of free time to spend with our families and loved ones. Let us all be together in this. Let us all do something new every day, learn a new book, or maybe cook, dance, or something new every day so that you can remember for the rest of your life. Because I think future is unpredictable, past is gone, and this is the moment present. I think that's the reason it's called present, and we need to seize the moment and utilize in whatever form it comes. Thank you so much. Stay home and stay safe. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nisha. A very short and brief, but then solid message to everybody. Stay with your loved ones, family. That's the most important things in our life. And then to take a step back and see what we are lack out and what we can do to be a better person. Thank you so much, Ms. Nisha, for the sharing. Okay, that's conclude all of our speakers today. It is a very, what we call that, a very profound message from everybody. And before I do my conclusion, I would like to invite the audience to have a few words, around 1 minute to 2 minutes, to say what they are experiencing and what is life is all about with them. Yeah. To start off, I would like to invite Miss Angie. She's our co-partner and our beloved sister, and she shares with us the kindness of art gems leading change. Take it away, Angie.
Thanks, Jalina. So to cut it short, to pretend the last week or the months have not been a crisis would be wrong and insensitive to people whose lives have been impacted in such a dramatic way. So whether the new crisis really make things worse for the future or humanity as a whole, or whether it will instead be the start of a healing process from which we can call, we all learn and make a world a better place, this will depend on our attitude, the attitude of each of us. And do we lead or do we wait or follow? So what can we do? Well, I can actually start with remembering that the only resources that we have are skills, imaginations, and our hard work of human being. And we have the incredible range of natural resources which the earth provides us with. So I will actually close this with 5 call to actions myself personally. So I practice, I feel that I feel confident that this will make a difference and humanity really might have a chance to heal. So these are the 5 things that I do. I actually call someone who I haven't been speaking to for long and just asking a question like, how are you? And how can I help you? And I really mean it. Yeah. So the second thing that I do, I actually express my appreciation. I like to think that I have always appreciated what the emergency services, other who have not now become the frontliner. So, but we didn't really appreciate them enough and also never thank them enough. But by the way, telling your family you appreciate them is also a good way to appreciate them as well. So this is what I do. And the third thing that I do, don't ever forget the people who actually always check on us regularly during this time. Those who didn't are not bad people. They have just been dealing with their own lives. And but those who did, they're really special one indeed. So the fourth thing that I do, I don't waste my time. So I live the life that I want, and by educating the people that I that wanted to learn a new skill. So what I do, I actually provide them with jewelry making. So this really provide me with happiness as well as the party who gets it. So last but not least, so I smile, like what I do now. It confuses them. 9 times out of 10, they will smile back. So smiling is highly contagious. Thank you very much. So who if not us, and when is not now? Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Angie. It was really the 5 elements that you abide by, and I think every one of us should take this as their motto. Okay, dramatic changes, practice, don't waste time, confident, make a difference, contact your loved one, and appreciate the others, and lastly, so with our mask on, people cannot see our smile, but maybe we can create something with a smile on our mask so that everybody knows that what is inside is outside. Thank you, Angie. So I'm inviting Datin Mylene. Are you here, Datin Mylene? Datin Mylene? Datin Mylene, I would like you to say a few words if you are here.
I think it's Datin Mylene.
Datin Mylene.
Yes.
So sorry about the pronunciation, Datin Mylene. Datin Mylene, are you here? Okay, I'll go to Dr. Siu. Are you here, Dr. Siu?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Siu.
Is it possible for me to, what do you call that, share some slide? I just want to show picture only.
Okay, Dr. Siu, you have about 1 or 2 minutes to just...
Yeah, very fast, just a picture.
Okay, by all means.
Is it? Can you guys see it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just want to say I'm from Stella Specialist Clinic. We have a few clinics. The main branch is in Malacca, Stella Clinic, and we have one clinic, Stella Clinic, aesthetic clinic in KL, and I run the Stella Specialist Clinic. I'm by profession, I'm a gynecologist, but I do a lot of wellness, anti-aging, and gynae aesthetic as well. But because of this COVID-19, you know, and we know that our country, you know, the medical healthcare actually is need a lot of people to help, especially during the pandemic. So, so I volunteer myself to be in the front line lah. So this is all the picture that you know. Just want to show you what basically what we do actually. Okay, if you anybody recognize this place, that will be, you know, must be a very good shopper. Okay, this is in Sunway Pyramid. It's practically empty. The whole place is empty. Why I'm in Sunway Pyramid? Because Pyramid Tower Hotel is one of the quarantine center. We have about 590 to 600 people under quarantine in that hotel alone. And next to it will be Sunway Cleo. Sunway Cleo have about 300-400. So imagine this around this area, this Sunway area, we have about you know, 700 to 800 people under quarantine just in this area alone. So, and the Ministry of Health is really running out of you know, short of people. Imagine they only have one team of people handling this 600 people under quarantine in Sunway Pyramid alone. So they really cannot cope. That's why we volunteer to help them. You know, this is what we do. We have a briefing first by the state department, and they will teach us how to wear the PPE. You know, wearing PPE is very easy, but taking it off is very difficult. You need to wash your hand every time you take out one layer, and it takes about 4 to 5 minutes just to take it off. So imagine if you have, that's why we are very careful with what we drink, what we eat. Imagine you're having diarrhea with the PPE. I'm not sure how you're going to rush to your toilet. Okay. So this is my team, volunteer team for the Sunway Pyramid Tower Hotel. And every day, in KKM stand for what? Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, right? But we also stand for Kementerian Court Meeting. Every day we have meeting, because we have to plan what we're going to do every day. So basically, for all this under quarantine, this is a new normal. When you check into the hotel, all the people wearing, the space suit will be there to welcome you. And, the check-in process, you are alien. You look like the only normal people there. The rest of the people will be all in gown. Basically, when you arrive at the hotel for quarantine, we want to check in you straight away. We won't talk to you. You take your, take your paper, take your room key, straight away go to your room. After you enter your room, that's our job start. We'll go and, wear full PPE, we will go and visit you in your room, Basically, that's your boundary. You cannot get in, you cannot go out. And we cannot go into your room, we cannot get out from your room. We check everything, through, the door, And every day, because quarantine is 2 weeks, right? Every day we will call room by room. If we have 600 person under surveillance in quarantine center, we will call 600 of them every day to check on them whether they're okay, they have fever, they have sore throat, all these things. Yep. And after that, we will do swab for them. This is a compulsory swab, right? That means we will plan it in such a way that we will do it once you wear your full PPE. You make sure you do all your smear done. Usually at one go we do about 200 to 300 smear. That means about 4 to 5 hours you will be on your PPE. So that's how you do your smear. And after that you will fully wet, from inside out. And also you are subject to the element because you can only do smear in an open area. When it's heavy rain, in thunderstorm, your tent also gone. So you have to wait for the storm to over, then rebuild everything again, start all over again. That's why if it's hot weather, it's also not good. It's wet, also not good. So we are subject to the environment. And also during my volunteer, I also, went to this enhanced MCO area to do smear, to do swabs because sampling, yeah. And actually, it's quite inconvenient for them, those under the MCO, and we move to area to do swabbing. This is in the apartment, one of the apartment there. We just find a corner, set up a tent, everything, wear your PPE, and start calling them down to do smear. And imagine in for example, like Selayang Baru, you have to do about 22,000 smear. So imagine how many people we had to see and had to do it. And after that, during my last, my last volunteer, which is this week, actually in KLIA doing seeing all these our Malaysian coming back from overseas, and now we screen them in this airport. And this is how the airport looks like. It's so quiet. So that's why this COVID-19 really affected us a lot. You can really see how people suffer, all this, especially those shop owners. And you see all the board, all cancel flight, all cancel, and it's hardly any, one day we only have about, 4 or 5 flights landing, that's it. And all these are returning from overseas, Malaysians returning from overseas. And this is what we do now in KLIA. You come back, we screen you, check you, make sure you are screened, okay? So, so basically, a lot of people say we are frontliner, we are the hero. But let me tell you a few things. I think that we Malaysians, maybe human beings in that genre, most of us are really kind-hearted. During this, I did my volunteer work for 1 month. During this 1 month, I can really see that generally Malaysians are really warm-hearted, very kind-hearted. People really care about each other, and I can see how people moving around, distributing free food for everybody, distributing free masks for everybody. So this is really amazing. And for me, my opinion, even though we are out there doing all the work, but when you ask me who are the real hero, actually the real hero are those people that really follow the rules of MCO, stay at home. I think you guys are the real hero and heroine. Without your guys helping us, I think our medical healthcare will be severely overwhelmed and we can't handle, we can't manage. Like some of the country, I'm grateful that generally Malaysians are very well behaved and really observe stay-at-home order. And in this situation, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody for just staying at home. I think that's about it, my sharing. Thank you very much.
Wow. Much, Dr. Thank you for very lengthy information. Yes, we salute and proud all our frontliners and being there, volunteering and all that. It's very heartfelt, warming. And I'm proud to mention because Malaysia has been acknowledged as among the effective frontliners which combat this war successfully. So stay hanging there, stay strong, doctor, and we do our part in doing what's not our expertise, but then lending our information sharing and all that towards to combat COVID-19. Okay, Dati Melin.
Hi. Yes.
Hi,
Hi,
Dati.
Datin. Yes.
Can you say a few words for 1 or 2 minutes for us?
Yeah, first and foremost, I must thank Sister Stella for having me. And thank you to all the distinguished speakers. Very good sharing. I enjoy it very much. And a short introduction about myself is that I have been in the community service for the 40 years now. And I am the founder of the Glitterama Ladies Charity Group since 2006. And we live by the motto, we can save the world, but we can make a difference. Well, this pandemic is something that we cannot avoid. And most importantly, we must stay healthy, safe, and positive. Well, this is the time when humanity comes in, and it means extending our unconditional love to each and every living being on earth. So, and also we must thank all the health heroes and all the health heroes and the frontliners for risking their lives, all the sacrifices, risking their lives to save lives. This is something that's beyond us. We just want to thank them from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. We are a global community.
Thank you, Dr. Melin, for sharing. Yes, we are indeed a global community. And it's not only in terms of material or physical aspect of it that we can impart, but also emotions and love that we share. Thank you, Dr. Melin.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to invite Dr. Jung Min Lai. Are you here, Dr. Jung Min? Dr. Jung Min, are you here? Okay, I think Dr. Jung Min is not around. Dr. Stephen Hong, are you here, Dr. Stephen? Dr. Stephen, are you around?
I think they really stay at home.
Yeah, lockdown.
Yeah,
Okay, Dr. Jeannie Chong, are you around with us? Or are you in the hospital right now, working? Last but not least, Mr. Jason, are you here? Mr. Jason? Okay, I don't think so. Miss Evelyn Tan, are you here, Miss Evelyn? If in that case, I will conclude my moderating platform today by inviting Dr. Ayla to give a few words just to appreciate this platform and sharing your views on our topic for today. Dr. Ayla, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, darling. The floor is yours.
Datin Jalina, thank you so much. And thank you so much, Stella Lim, and all the speakers from Malaysia and from all parts of the world. I'm Ayla. I'm 16 years old. I like to travel and meet people for conference. So I was very bored because I normally travel a lot. So I decided to make this World Leadership Conference. In 3 days, I managed to make my first conference, and up to today, we have reached about 17,000 people, and we did in 12 different countries. And this is going to be on. I wasn't even, what you call it? I wasn't expected to be like this, but it's amazing. So we now have 6 centers in 24 different countries. And I want to reach more and more people so they can survive during Corona time, not to get bored, not to watch Netflix, not to get angry to the partner, call their parents. And when you hear positive vibes, then you become better. So I think that's all. We have also amazing platform from education led by Dr. Rupa, Datin Jalina from Malaysia, and we have technology, we have food, and we have given, I think, 20 families. Stella Lim is starting amazing platform. It's called Singing for Kindness. And in Africa, we have helped 20 people. So I think in life, you just take a step and jump, you know, you never know the end, but just try, you know. Living is beautiful, and I'm sending you love from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Thank you, Dr. Ayla. Sending our love from Malaysia to you. And I would like to conclude this before I hand over to our host, President WWLC Malaysia, Madam Stella Lim. We have discussed so much right from the grasping opportunity, loving our loved ones, struggling to what we call that, face the fact that this crisis is real. This crisis is real, and we have to overcome it, no matter with what solution or with what approach. Yeah, and this opportunity to be sharing this information in this platform would really relate what is important in our life, our loved ones, our life, that matters. And putting a step back to prioritize what is important in our life is crucial. Yeah, and as what Ms. Kate says just now, to focus ourselves in order to self-regulate and to identify our biggest emotion is important, to foresee what is our step ahead to move forward. Okay, that is what I always feel. Always take things as a broader perspective of it. It's not the end of the world. The worst will soon sail over. Okay, Madam Stella, I'm leaving this to you, and it's a very what we call that, astounding, profound, heartfelt. I feel, yeah, hosting and moderating this platform for WWSC Malaysia. Lots of love, hugs, and kisses from Malaysia to all of you. Stay safe and healthy wherever you are.
Thank you, Datin Jarina. Love you so much. You did an amazing job this today.
Thank
so
you
I just wanted to make a little short conclusion. You know, so thank you so much for the speaker from these 7 countries. So basically, I after listening to all the sharing, I have one conclusion. I think that what they say is back to basic, protect the nature, beware of humanity, looking into inner self, attitude, smile, or even though spend more time with the family. So I think all these things, if we compact it together, I call it, this is all love. So
Thank you.
with love,
Thank you.
with love, we can do everything. With love, we can overcome everything. So
Sure.
stay safe at home. I hope to see every one of you in our next batch. So the next batch will host by Australia. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you from South Africa, Debbie. Thank you. You are a hero. Look inside of you. You are a hero. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. From South Africa, Mandela.
And
Russia.
Bye.
From South Africa.
Goodbye.
Mandela.
Thank you, Dato' David.
Thank you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you, everyone. Love from Nepal. Stay safe. Bye.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye from South Africa.
See you again.
Yes.
Hello. I wanna also give announcement on Wednesday. We have Russia is hosting a batch. Ingrid, are you here? No. Okay, Russia is very interesting. They want to host a batch with all the billionaires from European, and we want to. What do we want to do? We want to, yes, we want to, what is it? We want to listen to their life stories. It's quite interesting. And then on the 15th, we have batch from Philippines, same date. And then we have kids leading change every Sunday. We have happiness center every Friday. We have education every Saturday. And we have Angie's platform every Sunday as well. So Angie is interesting. Her platform is talking about jewelry and the enhance of jewelry making. So we really need to wear jewelry. Is to do witchcraft thing, no?
You're going to come in this Sunday. You're going to come in this Sunday, yeah, doctor?
Yes, I'm coming. It's too many invitations. Okay, I invite you all to come and invite you all to come and join the center of anything that you can do. Impact the people, reach more heart, win more soul, and let's fight with Corona with heart vaccine. Bye bye. Thank you,
Thank you,
Salim.
Thank you, sayang.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you again.
Thank you, Master Chai.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.